Hey, Rich with AOK Knives, Ace on Knives. Feeling a little nostalgic today for some reason. I just did a video for a Petrified Fish Scholar, and it brought me back to memories of my cousin and a couple other my friends that I ran around with in high school. So I was like looking at my knives and thinking about stuff and all the people I grew up with, or the legends of where I grew up. I grew up in Northwest Virginia. I'm getting ready to flip you off, but I'm not flipping you off because that's West Virginia right there, folks. Okay? That's the Eastern Panhandle, Northern Panhandle, and this is the body of the state. Charleston somewhere around here. Mason-Dixon line's right there. This is Brooke County. I grew up right here. Okay? So this is Ohio here, and this is Pennsylvania here. This part of this state right here is maybe 30 minutes wide. It's pretty cool. Pittsburgh's right here. I was a Pittsburgh steel worker. So you may be saying, looking at this video, man, Rich was probably king of the hill back there. In my mind, I was. In my mind. That was a rough territory, folks. So I'm looking at these knives that are my tough knives. This is my Crag, and it's a chopper, man. And then looking at my Kubi Momentum, I just feel like this is like something, when I was in the Army, I would have wanted to carry something like this. But it makes me think about those guys I grew up with that were, like I said, you're probably thinking I was the big shoes on the street. Not even close, man. I was a puppy. I was nothing. But, I ran out there and I messed around a little bit and I got into some trouble. Got my butt whipped, or I whipped a couple butts, but it just, there's legends back there. It's Steel Valley. I mean, our weakest in that town was tough. Really was. It makes me just, all those badasses back home. Because that's, when you live in West Virginia, there's a saying, you either drink, you either fight, or you fornicate. And that's all you could do. That's all there was to do. So there's a lot of good fighters, a lot of tough guys, a lot of great, and they're all kind of like great dudes too, though. Like you had the Jordan family; they're really tough folks. You had the Yost. Oh wow, man, the Yosts are tough dudes. I mean, you got the Kozovics. You got, a couple of my favorites. You got like Fudd Casto, Brian Casto, Fudd. I got like tattoos. Mine, he's got some serious tattoos. That boy, that man. Don't call him a boy. He'll whoop your butt. Fudd Casto, good old boy. And then you got so many like Keith Henderson, Warren Whitfield. These guys were all just so tough, and cool dudes too. I bet you every town's got their, and these are all different age guys I'm telling you about. This is through a series of growing up and, through my 20s and my 30s and even into my 40s. These guys are very significant characters in the community back home. And, in the sense of like, other things too. Not everybody's just tough or just mean or just nice or just rich or just poor. A little bit of everything going on back there. But yeah, so it's going a little longer than I thought, but man, it's fun talking about, just how you grew up and the people you grew up with and how you could be like perceived as one thing and you're not even close. Like I'm not even close to those guys' league. You know what I mean? Those guys are, and every town has them. That's why when you think you're tough, you think you're bad. Watch out. There's always somebody tougher. Always. Definitely. But if you're a gentleman and you treat people with respect and kindness and respect, because respect's the key word in that, kids. You need to respect people that should be respected. At least do basic respect at first, you know, courtesy. And then when you get to know, you say, hey, whew, that guy right there, man, I'm not messing with him. And you got to give that guy respect. You got to give him a wide berth. You got to, you know, tip your hat maybe. You don't want to go too far. And if that guy's a bully and he wants to push you around, then you might have to fight that bad son of a bitch and take your ass whooping. But you know what he's going to do? He's going to say, you know, that son of a bitch, you know, he didn't back down. I respect that. Now you got that guy's respect. That's how it works, kids. Take that butt whooping if you got to. If the bully's on you too hard, you got to take it to town court. You know what I mean? You got to take it to the town hall. And you got to say, okay. And if that bully's name is, you know, George. Let's go, George. And you got, you know, you're in 5th grade, man. You're like 12, I think, 12. And you got like, you got little Susie over there who you've been eyeballing anyways. And she's like, look how brave Rich is. And I'm like, let's go, George. You know, and then you're out. Everybody, like, you know, oh, they're worried about you. You know, now you're the hero. You fought the big bully. And the big bully, he took you out. But he said, you know what? Just last week, I came up to Johnny, and Johnny ran. I went up to Stu, and Stu cried. I went up to Billy, and Billy peed his pants. I went up to Rich. He went to the city hall. Yeah. Now you're a legend. And just last week you were a scared little kid being bullied. See how quick that turns? You know? And now you got a job. Your job now is you got to help all those other little dudes getting bullied. If you don't do that, then, you know, that was all for naught. Can't do that, man. That's just like throwing a gift away. So kids out there, if you're watching, which you probably aren't, but if you're watching and you're getting bullied, you can turn that crap around in a minute. Yeah, you're going to have a little sore, you know, here. I got it. See this scar right here? Yep. That was ox. Yeah. You know, big deal. I got cut wide open. Came back tougher, stronger, bigger, smarter. Came back with a knife, too. I'm a knife fighter. Yeah, man. Just stand up to those bullies. Be a gentleman. And go buy little Susie a milkshake down at the thing. Yeah. Tough knives, tough people. Stand up for yourself. Be a gentleman. Deuces.